K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right, hello and welcome to the Tuesday special edition of On Deck, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm the host, Big B, and like always, I'm joined by Big Dog Greg down in the bottom there, who just disappears like normal. Chris, my producer, my backstop. How you doing, Chris? You're on mute.
I'm doing good.
All right.
Too bad.
All right, and then hopefully he's being safe. The broadcast entertainer Biko. I'll let him pronounce his name because I probably just butchered it. So how you doing?
Oh, Big B, I'm doing great. Yeah, it's Biko, but you know what? It's been butchered a bajillion times in my life, and it will keep on being butchered. So there's no hard feelings there.
All right, it's Biko.
Yeah.
All right. So while you're driving, and please be safe because we don't want nothing to happen.
Yeah.
So how'd you get where you're at with the Savanah Bananas?
I'm sorry. Say that again, Big B.
How did you get with the Savanah Bananas? Where you're at? How did you get there?
Yeah, sure. So it's funny, as I just passed by the Statue of Liberty and head towards the Holland Tunnel, this is kind of my old stomping grounds. For a little over 2 years, I was at MLB Network in Secaucus, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, and doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work, video editing, all that good stuff. But I had done some broadcasting in college at Syracuse, really wanted to get back to that. Saw an opening for the Bananas on a job board website. It was an application process unlike any that I had seen, and I'd poured through, dozens and dozens, probably triple digits at that point. And I watched the 20-minute story. It really intrigued me. I felt like it was something that I had to lay my eyes on in person, and luckily I was able to land the job, and I've been there over 2 years now.
All right. So growing up, who did you root for as baseball teams go?
Oh, diehard New York Yankees fan.
Oh, God. Oh, you had to say that. Oh, man, that just crushes me. Well, they crush the Twins every year. The Twins, I think, can't win a game to save their lives in New York. So,
yeah, there's no team that I'm more confident that the Yankees can ever beat than the Minnesota Twins. I'm sorry to say that.
No, I would put that in writing too, that I would bet on the Yankees every time against the Twins. So, but so we just kind of recap our team. So Belk, you got your Yankees, so they're red hot right now. They've been cruising all year, so you must be liking their chances.
Yeah, I mean, we were on a historic pace going into the All-Star break. Actually ended up being one of the worst teams in baseball since then. I think went like 8-16 in August. That was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Just dropped 2 of 3 in Tampa. That was sad after splitting a 4-game series in Oakland against the worst team in baseball and dropping 2 out of 3 in the Angels. So it was an incredible year, and we've still got a good 5-game cushion or so, but I'm starting to get a little spooked here. Most of the team's injured. Aaron Judge is the best player of all time, but he's got no help offensively. But hopefully we'll get a little healthier come October.
Well, speaking of the Judge, where do you think he's going to end up for home runs?
Let's see. Alex, give me 63.
Oh, okay. He's gonna be somewhere above 60, I think. So, Greg, Cardinals fan, how's the Cardinals been?
Well, we were red hot, but we sure tanked one yesterday. Lost 6-0 to the big bad Nationals. Came into town, and Jack Flaherty didn't look very good in his first start back from the injured reserve. So, we've been red hot. We had an excellent pickup at the trade deadline, picking up Jordan Montgomery. Sent old Harrison over to the Yankees. I don't even know if he's played any outfield yet for the Yankees, but we sure are getting a lot out of old Montgomery's left arm right now. And we're pulling away strong away from the Brewers. So leaving the Brewers in the dust. So it looks like we're going to get that third top playoff spot.
All right, Pujols going to get his 5 home runs here in a month.
Let's see, 28 games to go.
It's one out of every 4.
I think he'll hit right at 700.
Okay. You being the Yankees fan, are you pulling for Pujols to get 700? Biko? He must have got into the tunnel. He is driving home. He said he was going to have technical issues. So we'll be rejoining him when he gets through the tunnel. So, Chris, you're on mute. How about your Rangers?
Like we kind of talked about before the show, they need a little help in the off season with pitching, but it's been an up and down year. They've still been losing to the Astros, so I don't know if that will continue. Hopefully not.
All right. Yeah, my Twins are facing the dreaded Yankees. The best thing right now, hey, they can't lose tonight because the game's been postponed, but they can lose 2 games tomorrow because they're playing a double dip tomorrow. So, Twins. So Biko, are you pulling for Pujols to get 700, being a Yankees fan?
Happen this year than Pujols get 700. He's promised to retire afterwards. I think he's a man of his word, so I really want him to get there. There's only 3 guys that are there with Bonds, Aaron, and Ruth. It would be so cool if the machine would be number 4.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, he's a man of his word. I know there's been talk that, people are saying, well, will he come back to get that 1 or 2? I don't think so. Wherever he ends this year, I think he ends. So with that being said, let's go a little bananas. So been the craze this year in baseball. You work for the team. Do they consider themselves the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball? I've heard that name being brought up.
We really don't. We're okay with people saying it because there are obvious comparisons, but, one of our owners, Jesse, with his wife, Emily, Jesse detests hearing the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball because their games are fixed and everything that happens on the baseball diamond with us is all clean and fair. So, we have real competition. There's a whole lot of shenanigans, a circus surrounding the show on the field. But I'm perfectly okay with the Harlem Globetrotter comparison. I get why it makes sense. The big difference though is that the party animals aren't going to lose every time or 401 games like the Washington Generals will.
So is it just at your home field that all the circusry acts, or is it just wherever the Bananas go?
So during our Coastal Plain League season, we were a collegiate football team for the first 7 years as an organization. Mm-hmm. When we're on the road, we're not putting on the show. That's up to whoever we're visiting. But during our world tour, the One City World Tour last spring, or 2 springs ago rather, and then the Banana Ball World Tour this past spring, all 7 parks that we've traveled to, we put on the show. So with Banana Ball going forward, come 2023, it will be the Banana Show everywhere we go.
Nice. I hope they get to travel up here in Minnesota. I would love to watch them. So, guys, you guys got questions for them? Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah. What's the craziest rule that you've seen or implemented? Or
Oh gosh, that's crazy. craziest thing. I think in general, as far as, bits go, Zach Whalen on the Party Animals this past spring, lighting his bat on fire, going up to home plate and legitimately taking swings, and actually got a hit back up the middle. He fouled the ball off, and that put the fire out. But that was mind-boggling. And then very recently, just a couple weekends ago, stilts, Dakota Albrecht,
Yes.
On 5-foot stilts, lined a base, hit back up the middle, made him 1 for 4 in his career. I'd say those two are the craziest moments that I've seen as far as banana ball nonsense goes.
All right. Greg, you got a question for him?
Yeah. Do you guys have any players right now that you think might have a chance to make it to the bigs someday? Or
Yes, definitely. I mean, on this team, I would say Dylan Porter, reliever out of the University of New Orleans. He's low to mid 90s with an incredible breaking ball. He's got a really live arm. If he can get a couple more ticks on the old velo meter, I think he'll definitely get picked up. And then as far as this past spring, we had a whole lot of guys who are really thriving in independent pro ball right now. I'd say Chris Switzer and Colin Ledbetter are probably the two guys who have done the best this summer. Ledbetter's got a sub 1.5 ERA in the USPBL, and Quitzer's got over 20 bombs playing up in the Frontier League, and his batting average is around 300. So we've got a lot of really, really talented guys who come through, and having Josh Reddick a couple weekends ago, who has put up pretty respectable numbers for the Diamondbacks last summer. That's kind of a cheat code to get guys who could be back in the MLB. Although I think he's going to hang up the cleats in that respect. But it's always a blast to get a chance to get to the.
All right. So the fans get an out or catch a ball, it's an out. How is that scored in the scorecard?
I mark it F-F, foul out to fan.
Okay. All right. That was one of the craziest things I saw in the rule books. I'm just like, really? A fan gets an out? That's cool. So I saw a video of Peavy came out with the World Series trophy one time. Who else has donned the banana uniform after their MLB career?
So Eric Burns was our head coach this past spring. He'll still do a lot of coaching duties this upcoming year, although he also coaches his son's youth team. And, has a family to attend to. So he won't be at every stop, but he'll be there when he can be. Okay. And he took a couple pinch hit opportunities. He actually, another guy we had playing Kansas City this past spring, and then on the 19th and 20th of August, less than a month ago, Johnny Gomes is an awesome character. And Burns, he actually pinch ran for Gomes after Johnny hit a base hit. So that was a fun moment. And then Jake Peavy, like you said, he brought his Gold Glove out, pitched for us in Birmingham this past spring. And Jonathan Papelbon brought the World Series trophy out just a few weeks ago. So I think there'll be a lot more of that comes from. And then the legendary Bill Lee, 75 years young, Red Sox Hall of Famer. He is probably going to be at just about every banana ball game for the rest of time, because he loves what we're doing. We love having him around, and he's the definition of making baseball fun and just playing forever. And actually has been really effective on the mound too, which is cool to see.
So what is your coolest rule that you guys have that it's like, oh, I wish MLB would do this?
I mean, Major League Baseball will never do it, but my favorite is fans catching a foul ball as an out. What's funny is back in my MLB Network days, Greg Amsinger, MLB Tonight host, actually brought that up as like a half-baked idea in a production meeting, and then joked about it at the end of an MLB Tonight show. So it was really full circle for me to then come to Savannah, and without them, even watching that or anything, finding out that it's one of the rules of this made-up game that they're playing. So that's my favorite. It would really tickle me if Major League Baseball adopted it. I think the one that MLB should actually pick up and would really help their pace of play, which is kind of the top of their priorities nowadays, is that batters can't leave the box. Yes. Barry Bonds, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, some of the best hitters of all time don't leave the batter's box. So, if those guys can do it, I feel like the rest of Major League Baseball can figure it out as well.
Yeah, I definitely like that. Chris, you got another question for him?
Yeah, who do you who would you be? Who would be your dream signing
Wow.
to join the team?
Oh gosh. I mean, there's so many incredible former MLB guys. The world's really our oyster. I think what was really cool about Josh Reddick is how fresh out of the league he is and still 36 years old. He's, as far as talent goes and still being close enough to the prime of his career, he's been the best bat that we've gotten. So I'd say anybody that we can grab leaving Major League Baseball, cough cough, Albert Pujols, would
Oh,
would really take us pretty good. But Brett Phillips, honestly, I think he's still got a lot of MLB time left in him, so I don't think we'll see him for a while. But he was, and then I would love Adam Jones. Actually, has been flirting with us a lot via social media. Captain America, what an incredible ball player he is, and has been playing overseas in Asia for a little while now. So I would be thrilled to get him involved.
all right, Greg.
Have you guys ever thought about bringing back some of the old time guys that just couldn't quite hang it up when they had the chance, like a Roger Clemens or someone like that kind of wanted to stay in the league until they were in their mid 40s?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Papelbon kind of fits that mold because he hasn't officially retired and has gone on record saying that he never will, even though he hasn't been in the MLB since 2016 when he finished up with the Nationals. Yep. But yeah, man, I mean, like, anybody that wants to come have fun with us and play a brand of baseball that's just built around fun and entertaining the fans and making once in a lifetime memories for fans is welcome to come hang out with us. So, Johnny Damon was chatting with Papelbon this past weekend and is dying to get involved. So anybody in that realm, man, come on down. We're more than happy to have them.
Yeah. Well, looking over the rules that I, brought up, I actually like the running rule. Player can steal first base on any pass ball or wild pitch depending on the count. I think that's something that MLB could definitely use and make a little twist to it. How do you like that rule?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's incredible. It really adds a lot of excitement to any kind of at bat when no one's on base. In baseball, if no one's on base, the catcher doesn't really have to put their body on the line for a ball in the dirt. But in banana ball, you've got to be on your edge at all times, and that kind of adds a little bit more excitement and intrigue to every pitch.
Yeah, it sure does. The extra inning rule, the skeleton crew rule as they call it. During the extra innings, defense can only have a pitcher, catcher, and one fielder. Okay, so there's 3 people on the field.
Yep.
If the batter puts the ball in play, he must round the bases to score. How does that get the crowd involved? I mean, that seems like one that the crowd would be just going nuts for.
Oh yeah, they love it, and so we've amended it a few times. When we first started the showdown, there was no fielder, but it was too hard to stop the inside the parkers from happening. So we let people get a fielder out there. They have to start on the infield grass once the ball's in play. Then they can go crazy. But then the defense got so good, and because you just put your fastest guys with a combination of having a great arm out there, and then it got really hard to score. So now we've settled on your defenders out there for the first round have to be in the infield grass. After that, it's just the pitcher and catcher against the hitter. Yeah, man, but it's thrilling because it's just a mad dash. Everyone's sprinting. You got to combine talents defensively to try and keep that guy from hitting it inside the Parker. And something that's never happened yet, but we'll lose our minds when it does, is if the guy hits an out of the park home run, the team wins immediately. No matter if it's the first round or, the away team can hit a home run out of the park and the home team doesn't even get last licks at that point. It's just a walk-off bomb.
Nice. I like that. Greg, what do you got? You got another question?
Well, I can't really think of one right now. Well, actually, what's your guys' average attendance like for these games? Is it pretty packed or?
Yeah, so we have sold out in Grayson Stadium in Savannah 191 straight games.
Wow.
Yeah, we can jam a real solid 4,000 plus, 4,000 to 4,300 or so into Grayson. Sorry, I'm jam packed in Manhattan traffic here, and no one's ever happy in Manhattan traffic. That's why we got horns blaring all around. People in Soho are having a bad night. Yeah, man. So it's crazy because we've sold out every game on the road now too. But going back to 2016, the team sold out 18 of 25 games in the inaugural season, and every single game in Savannah has been sold out since. So it's a trip. The waiting list for tickets is north of 80,000 people now, and it's really cool to, no matter what, every night the crowd is rocking and rolling, and the atmosphere is always insane.
All right, Chris, you got something for him?
What areas or cities would you like to travel to?
Really good question. I'm a New York guy, as you can see, as I'm in the heart of New York City traffic as we speak. So I've only been west of the Mississippi River once, and it was this past spring when we played in Kansas City. So I'm really excited to get to Texas and California, Pacific Northwest. I think we're going to be able to do a little bit of a Northeast tour as well. I think we might be able to pop into Ohio, New York, little New Jersey, New Hampshire,
Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Minnesota. It's one of those things where we have to have a team, really want us to come. Obviously it takes two to tango.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what the current forecast is out in the land of 10,000 lakes, but I'll promise you this: we'll get to the state of Minnesota at some point in time or the other.
Oh yeah, no problem. No, that's So I see there's also the early bedtime rule. So games about an hour and almost 2 hours. So nothing over 2 hours, huh?
No, and that's part of when we created Banana Ball. It first debuted in 2018. The Bananas didn't play it until 2020. It's one of those things where the reason we created the game in the first place at all is we were looking at our bleachers and our stands, and by the 6th to 9th innings, you're losing 25 to 50% of your people, and all of a sudden, the place is half full when the most exciting part of the game happens.
Yeah.
And it's completely understandable. Kids have bedtimes. People have to work the next day. Baseball doesn't have a time limit. It could go all night long. So that was a big part of the game. Obviously, is our entertainment starts an hour and a half before first pitch. As soon as the gate opens, we're entertaining from 5:30 up until 7, and then obviously once first pitch happens, it's really game on. So it's a 2-hour time limit, but you're getting 3.5 hours of incredible entertainment. And then we have a little party outside the stadium at the end of every game too, which is another, I'd say, 20 minutes plus. It's an experience that's crafted from start to finish, and we see the place is still jam packed come the very end of the game, because you can see that clock ticking down the whole time. It's not like, oh, this thing might take a half hour, it might take 2 hours to close down. No, you can see there's 23 minutes left. Let's stick it out and see what happens here.
So what goes into the pregame festivities? What do you guys do?
Oh my goodness, what doesn't? So there's a whole parade outside the stadium to open the gates. Yeah, a little hey baby dancing with the people. Then once the gates open, we're blaring music. People, players are out signing autographs, taking pictures, kissing babies, the whole 9 yards. Right around 6 is when we get a little history of Grayson Stadium, some interactive trivia that people can win some merchandise if they can nail the Bananas trivia. And then we have everything from our Banana Baby, which has a waiting list I know it's in the dozens. I think it's even higher than that now. Where your baby gets honored in front of the crowd, lifted like the Lion King.
Nice.
Yeah, with Mufasa and all that good stuff. We have a pregame weigh-in, so it's like a UFC fight, except it's a big buff dude from each team squaring off, and then they'll usually do a little TikTok dance and something fun. Party animals will storm the field, coming over the left field wall. The Bananas have a whole warm-up that's called the Weave. It's inspired by hockey and basketball warm-ups. Real cool choreographed, the most exciting infield outfield you'll see in your life. And there's a litany of other little fun events in there as well. But it's jam-packed. Really, really, once you get to like 6:15 p.m. to 7 p.m., it is nonstop action.
Nice. Chris, you got anything else?
Yeah. What was it like working alongside ESPN for the documentary?
Oh my gosh, so cool.
Good question.
Yeah, so the ESPN hired this crew called Rumor Productions, and it's David Bellinson is the executive producer. He had come down the previous year and done like an 8, maybe 10-minute story on us that was also on ESPN. And that was kind of a teaser for his idea that they want to do a documentary in the future. So David, Michael, Suki, Jeff, it's a really incredible crew. This rumor group, and they were with us, embedded with us. I mean, none of us in Bananaland can say enough good things about them. And I'm not afraid of a camera. I love having a camera around and being able to ham it up in front of that. So it was really cool, and it's been surreal to get to watch back. 3 episodes of Bananaland now are out, and to kind of experience the wildness that was the world tour once again, and see all of us getting camera time and stuff. It's a blast. So I can't wait to see the next 2 episodes, each of the next 2 Fridays, coming out on ESPN Plus. I'm biased, but I think the Rumor team did an absolutely insanely incredible job.
No, that's good. Good for them. Yeah, I can see you're not afraid of the camera because I recently saw a video of you sporting a black eye. I don't know if you can go into detail what happened, but yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, so we're pretty cleared up now, honestly. Okay. We have a lot of fun. I think one of the amazing things about working with the Bananas is your office is a baseball field, and there are some hazards that can come with that. So after Friday's game, August 26th, I was throwing BP. I had a bunch of my old MLB Network buddies in town hanging out. Probably an hour and a half, 2 hours into our, shenanigans. I threw a cookie right down the middle, as you're supposed to in batting practice, got a one-hopper back to me, should have made the play, was physically and mentally not tapped in at that point in the night. Whiffed on it, got me straight in the forehead, and it gave me a mean shiner. So pretty unfortunate when your job is to be on camera, but it makes for a funny story.
No, it did. Glad to hear about it. I'm glad it wasn't nothing serious.
No, not at all.
So what? You must have dabbled in baseball yourself. So what positions did you play?
Yeah, I played my whole life up through high school and 3 years at Syracuse club baseball. I was a big second baseman growing up, and then once I got to 7th grade, I found a home in the outfield. I love playing center. There's not much better than tracking down fly balls. So I still dabbled with a little action at second base in college as well, but really found a home in center in particular.
Yeah, no doubt. Center was the best place. I love playing the outfield. My favorite player was Puckett, so got to definitely play out there a lot. So Greg, you got anything else?
Yeah, do you get quite a few like average Joes trying out for the team or anything, or?
Yeah, we held open tryouts each of the last 2 years, which means you get a variety of talent from guys just getting up off their couch, grabbing a glove and seeing if they can still hack it, to unbelievable independent professional baseball players and guys who have a shot at affiliated ball. And that's why we have a tryout. The average Joes get weeded out pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. And
we only have really extremely talented players who make the squad, but it's fun that anybody can come and shoot their shot.
No, that's always fun. I mean, definitely you're gonna take the cream of the crop, but Chris, you got anything else? I don't really have any more.
Have anything, no.
All right, Belko, why don't you finish it up? Why don't you give us a little history of the Bananas? I know you kind of talked about them. 2009 or 2016 was when they started.
Yes, yeah. So the Spark Notes version of it is, Jesse and Emily Cole, the owners. They owned the Gastonia Grizzlies. Jesse had took over as the GM there at 23 years old, built it into an incredible product. And then after they got married, they took a little trip to Savannah. Emily kind of surprised Jesse with just a chance to watch a Sand Gnats game. They were the single A affiliate of the Mets. And they went there. There wasn't 100 people in the ballpark, but they fell in love with the place. And they said, if this ever opens up, we're putting a team here in Savannah. This is magical. And little did you know, that very next year, the Sand Gnats wanted a $37 million new stadium down by the water on the Savannah River, and they wanted the city to pay for it. The city said, "You're out of your mind. We've got this beautiful, near century-old stadium, Grayson. So the Sand Gnats got a deal from Columbia, South Carolina. They left, cut the phone lines, cut the internet, trashed the place a little bit, became the Fireflies up in South Carolina. And that opened it up for the Bananas to come down and be a collegiate baseball team. So yeah, as I mentioned, they were the Savannah baseball team, had sold maybe 1 to 3 tickets. They announced they were going to be the Bananas after a fan naming contest, and only one person put the Bananas in, but she was a genius. As soon as they heard that, they said, "Oh my gosh, there it is." I mean, there's nothing better than that. Initial reaction was pretty bad from the locals. They thought it was a joke. But once they started coming out to the games, they realized it was an incredibly fun product, and have blessed us with, as I mentioned, 191 sellouts since. So collegiate baseball since 2016 in the Coastal Plain League. They won the Pettit Cup, the trophy that you get for winning the CPL that 2016 inaugural season. And there was no Pettit Cup on the line in 2020, but then 2021 and this past summer, they won it back-to-back years. So they've taken the championship in a 14-team league, 3 out of 6 opportunities. And now we're moving on to Banana Ball and just doing that full time so we can visit the world. So it was really cool doing collegiate summer baseball. It was fun to be the Savannah Bananas and not just entertain better than anybody else in I'd say the country, but also play incredible baseball and win 3 championships. So it's been a really fun ride.
No, that's definitely good. So, what, in your perspective, what's the best act that the fans like to see? What do they go for?
Bananas. There's a plethora of them, but I would say Maceo Harrison, our dancing first base coach, is the belle of the ball. He's out there in the 3rd, 4th, and 7th innings. He can move it and groove it like you can't believe, and everybody loves Maceo. I mean, it's everybody who comes down and watches a game for the first time and who I know and I get to chat with afterwards, they're all blown away by Maceo. So that's a guy who all age groups, he really entertains with the best of them.
All right. Well, I got an idea. You could pitch it around, and I know it might not sound safe, but I think the broadcast team should go sit out in center field and do a game in the center field while the game's going on. I mean, why not? Maybe it's been pitched already. I don't know, but
you know what, Big B, you've got a beautiful mind, man, because it has been pitched and we fooled around with it a little bit. I've broadcast a few innings across a couple different games out in center, not like with a desk or anything, but with a mobile setup.
Okay.
And we have talked about just slapping a whole desk right behind second and doing a whole game like that.
And
I would say on the left hand.
And I definitely would say that. If you catch a ball, it's an out. I think that would fit banana baseball to a T.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and we might do it at some point in time. So just know that you're on the right path right there.
All right, Chris, you got any ideas, a rule that you want to throw out to them?
I don't know. I mean, I can't think of one now.
Greg, how about you? I know you're the mastermind behind a lot of things.
Well, I don't want it to ever come to like Major League baseball, at the highest level, but I've heard it pitched around before about like robot umpires and stuff. What do you think about that?
Oh, we're all in on it. Eric Burns loves robo umps. Johnny Gomes is actually involved in a company that has that technology. So I wouldn't doubt that we actually do that at some point in the next couple of years because, you know, our home plate umpire, Vincent Chapman, is an incredible dancer. He's an awesome entertainer. He's a good umpire, but it's tough to think about umpiring a game and all the dances and unique moves you're going to break out. You know, he's our resident Enrique Palazzo to quote the Naked Gun there. But so to take the balls and strikes calling out of his control so he can focus on the entertainment and, you know, safe and out calls, foul tips, everything else that goes into a home plate umpire's duties is actually incredibly appealing to us.
Okay. No, that's definitely good. So anyways, I guess we can wrap it up because, I mean,
Yeah.
I would sit and talk Twins and Yankees with you, but that's a sore subject, and there ain't much to talk about on the Twin side of things. But growing up, who did you idolize? I mean, being a Yankees fan, I'm guessing it's going to be 90% Yankees. So,
no doubt, Hideki Matsui was my favorite player of all time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, came to the Yanks in 2003.
Yep.
I was 6 years old. It was peak Yankees fandom for me, and he had a grand slam on opening day, and you know, from that swing on to the World Series MVP performance in 2009, Matsui, Godzilla is always my man. But you know, I love Cano, Jeter, Mariano, Pettit, Posada, Bernie. You know, the list goes on and on. But Matsui was always my favorite.
No, Rivera and Jeter are definitely out there for me. I mean, I think we could all agree on those. What do you think of Ohtani? I mean, you know, being another guy from over there.
Oh, incredible! I mean, skill-wise, I don't think it's crazy to say he's the most talented baseball player of all time. You know, you could say since Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth didn't pitch for as long as Ohtani already has.
Yep.
And also Babe was playing in a segregated league with guys. You know, you can play in your area. You can't knock Babe Ruth for not facing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs and 95-mile-an-hour sliders like DeGrom has. But you know, I digress. I think Ohtani is probably the most talented player of all time, and I wouldn't doubt he racks up a handful more MVPs in his future. Just not this year with what the judge is doing.
Oh yeah, Judge hands down has got it. So why don't you World Series prediction? What do you got?
Oh man, I would love to be a homer and say the Yankees, but I'm going to say the Astros and the New York Mets. It's kind of boring to say the Astros. They've been in the World Series 3 out of the past 5 times, but they're so gosh darn good, and their pitching is incredible, and they've got the playoff experience. It's tough to pick anybody over them, and you know, the Dodgers is the other cookie cutter pick to go, but I like the Mets because as long as they can stay healthy, you know, you've got to face DeGrom twice in a 5-game series. And in a 7-game series, you get DeGrom and Scherzer twice. So that's a really dynamic duo. Chris Bassett is an insane guy to have as your third starter. You know, and they've got Carrasco and Walker and Peterson all waiting in the wings. So I love their pitching staff, and I think they might really be able to do it this year. I'm not the kind of Yankees fan that wishes any ill will for our crosstown rivals. I think it's best when the Mets and Yankees are both great. So I've been in bliss this summer.
Yeah, you would definitely just made a good friend with one of our other co-hosts, Dirk. He's a big Yankee fan, so he would have loved to hear that pick from you. So, yeah. But with that being said, guys, you know, Greg, you got any final thoughts for tonight?
Well, you know, the school year is upon us already, and I just want everybody to be safe out there. There's a lot of buses out on the road again after the summer off. I just want everybody to drive safe, pay attention to the buses, the stop signs, and everything. And you know, and then as far as baseball is concerned, I think that my Cardinals, you know, I don't know quite if the World Series is in the mix, but there's a lot of hype with Pujols and on the prowl for 700, and there's just a lot of positive things going on in St. Louis right now. So I'm giving my Cardinals an outside chance, but I think it's going to be the Mets and the Astros, but I wouldn't count out the Braves either.
All right, Chris, how about you? What's going on rest of the night and this week for C2C?
Yeah, I think we're having Tuesday Night Mania coming up, and then hopefully, you know, Savanah Bananas have a great rest of the season and, you know, future.
Yeah. Malcolm, finish it off for us. What do you got?
Oh man, well, I think Mr. G is spot on. I'm not counting the Cardinals out at all. Team of Destiny vibes with Pujols leading that squad, and he was like one of the best hitters in baseball in August, which just really was incredibly exciting to watch. Plus, you got your NL MVP in Goldschmidt and the runner-up in Arenado. Plus, as you mentioned, Gumby Montgomery has become the best pitcher in baseball since going to St. Louis. So I like the Cardinals a lot. The Braves are incredible. I think Cardinals, Braves, Mets, Dodgers. I mean, well, give me one of those four or give me death. But I really appreciate you guys letting me chat about the Bananas on here. It's been a blast hanging out with you folks. And keep a lookout. In October or so is when the Banana Ball World Tour schedule will come out for 2023. So hopefully we're coming to a city and a ballpark near you guys.
Yeah, we will definitely keep track of that. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We've been waiting for weeks for this interview. I've been watching their highlights, and definitely it intrigued me. It almost gave me back the love, wanting to go out myself, but I'm over the hill. But maybe it's the maybe if the Bananas come to Minnesota, maybe we could sneak in an appearance or something at first base for myself. So
there you go.
But with that being said, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining us, the viewers for watching. Check us out next week for On Deck. Have a good night, guys.
See you guys.